The solid modeling tools are really useful for creating kind of simple geometries and shapes pretty quickly. But often whenever we're modeling objects or buildings, you usually have to create more kind of complexity than these kind of simple shapes and forms. So I just want to cover a few tools, which are the Boolean tools. Right next to the solid geometry or solid model tools, you'll see this two spheres intersecting. And these are the Boolean tools. So there's Boolean Union, Boolean Difference, and Boolean Intersection, which I'll kind of demonstrate. And then there's a lot of additional tools for creating different types of pockets or creating holes in some of the solid models, chamfering edges of solid models. And if we expand the Solid Tools tab, you'll see that these are all here as well. And on the far left, we have the Boolean Union, Difference, and Intersection tools, and then the kind of solid geometry tools we were looking at before. So we'll keep this tab open and expand the perspective view again. And just to kind of get started, we're going to look at combining two different forms to create more kind of shapes or different types of forms and different complexity. So I'm going to start by just creating a box. Also, if I hold Shift down while I start this command for the box, it'll keep a square form. But again, we can also just type in a distance like 5 inches, and I'll do this one 5 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches. And I'm going to change this to shaded. And let's look at another tool, this pyramid tool. And for this, we need the number of sides of the pyramid. So I'm going to change this from, instead of number of sides 5, I'm going to change this to 4 and press enter, and then choose the center of the pyramid. And I'll kind of just bring this down so that it's a little bit extending beyond the height of the beyond the edges of the box, and also a little bit higher than the box as well. So I'm going to bring this up here and click there. So we have a pyramid that's higher than the box, and the base kind of extends in plan beyond the edges. And I'm going to use the gumball tool to just kind of move this in the along the x-axis, so that these two forms are overlapping each other. Something like this. So if we look at Boolean Union, basically what this does is combines two different forms into one form. So let's click on this tool, Boolean Union, and we can select the surfaces or polysurfaces to union. So I'll select the box and then the pyramid, press enter. And now you can see that it's kind of if I click on the object, it's now one solid continuous object, and you could see how these are meeting now instead of just intersecting as two different forms. Now they're joined together. So I'm gonna just hit Control Z to undo that, and kind of look at the next tool, which is the Boolean Difference tool. So if we click on Boolean Difference, I'm going to select, let's say, the surface or polysurface to subtract from. So I'm going to say I'm going to subtract from this box, and then the surface that I'm going to subtract with, which is this pyramid here, and press enter. And so now you can kind of see how it's generated this negative. It's removed the pyramid form from the box. So this becomes a little bit more complex in terms of modeling something like this, and we can kind of quickly understand what a subtracted form would look like from another form with this tool. If we do the inverse of that, let's say we do same command, Boolean Difference, but this time we're going to select the pyramid, press enter, and then subtract the box. Then we kind of get this shape here, and you can kind of see the box has been removed. So Control Z to undo, and I'm going to look at this last tool, Boolean Intersection. And what this does is when we select each, when I select the first set, press enter, and then select the second set and enter, now we're kind of ending up with this kind of unique shape or this unique form that's basically the result of where these two forms, the box and the pyramid, are intersecting each other. So you can kind of quickly start to get different types of unique shapes or customized kind of shapes by using these three Boolean tools, and you can kind of experiment with these with different types of geometries, like subtracting a sphere from a box, or subtracting a truncated cone from a box, or just different types of combinations to explore more complex shapes that you can achieve.